Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Nathan Fox, that's Ben Olson. We're the founders of LSATdemon.com and our weekly podcast, Thinking LSAT. We have an email here from Teddy.
Teddy says, "Hi everyone. I know the LSAT to be a skills-based test, and I'm currently facing an issue. Over the past 2 months, I've been hitting my stride. Recent practice test scores are 165, 168, and even a 169. Throughout this time, I finally understood what it meant to be natural and intuitive with the LSAT. And more importantly, I felt awesome going through these tests. The months of hard work were paying off, and my comfort with the test reflected it. This is a skills-based test, and I seem to grasp the skills."
Fantastic.
But then, yeah, that's great. But then recently, there have been days when I just open up a drill and suddenly words just fail to work. It's like for the past 2 months, I was getting the hang of playing golf properly, breaking 100 consistently for the past 2 months. And then suddenly one day I picked up the club and forgot the fundamentals for a swing I learned on day one.
Welcome to being a golfer, by the way. I mean, so for a golf analogy, you hit me just perfect square. I'm wearing my Oakland Roots golf team shirt. Oakland Roots is a soccer team. I don't know why they made a golf shirt, but my friends bought it for me. Um, it's a perfect analogy because you're a different person on different days. Sometimes shit's easier. We all have ups and downs. We have ups and downs emotionally. We have ups and downs physically. We just have ups and downs, Teddy. So, yeah, that's going to happen. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. Fortunately, law schools only care about your highest score, and you're allowed to take the official test 5 times. So you need to sort of embrace that variance. In golf, it's as if you get to play 5 rounds of golf and only your best round counts. Yeah, you can break 100 most times. You're going to end up with a decent score in at least one of those 5 rounds. But your worst one is going to be bad, and your worst one doesn't matter. So you got to just sort of worry about it less and just decide, okay, I'm working on my whole range. Hopefully my bad days are going to get a little bit better. My average days are going to get a little bit better, and my good days are going to get a little bit better. Fortunate for me, only the good day, it really is going to be the one that in the end is going to count. But that doesn't mean that there aren't going to be bad days along the way. Okay, want to let Teddy continue?
Sure. Teddy says, "My reading comprehension, logical reasoning, and pattern recognition skills, all skills I've been working hard over the months to cultivate, just seem to go back to square one. Questions I know that would have been easy on my good days, I have to really wrestle with and put effort into before I get it right. There have been days when I literally train myself up back to what should be my current optimal performance. This is not every day, but definitely enough days to warrant concern. Any advice on this 1 step forward, 2 steps back conundrum?"
It's not 1 step forward, 2 steps back. But it
It's like
is
10
2 steps
forward.
forward, well, or 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I mean, your progress, Teddy, is not going to be linear. You are going to continue to get better at understanding this test. But you're just not going to go up and up and up and up and up. You're going to go up and down and up and down and up and up and down.
Well, it's funny because are you actually going down, or is it really more the situation where your scores are reflecting a higher skill level than you're actually at yet, right? We see this all the time where people get questions wrong. Okay, you got 3 wrong, you got 5 wrong. That really means you misunderstood anywhere from 6 to 10 questions.
Yeah.
You just got lucky on half of them and got them right.
Yeah. There, even at a 169, Teddy, like on your very best day, 169, at most you're understanding 80% of the test. So there are things you don't understand, and you are misreading things. Even when you get a 169, you're misreading things. You're misreading the passage, you're misreading the question, you're misreading the wrong answers you choose, you're misreading the right answers you don't choose. Even on questions you get right, you're getting questions right for the wrong reasons. So your mastery of the test, Teddy, is not at a place where you're going to be variance free. The only people who are variance free are the people who just peg the meter at 180 and they score like 178, 179, 180 on every single test. Those are the only people that have no score variance or very minimal score variance because they really understand what they're reading and they really have mastered the skills. But you're master, you're part of the way there, Teddy. You're 80% of the way there, maybe. But you're going to have good days and bad. I mean, some days you're getting lucky and you're not really realizing it, and those are your best scores. Some days you're getting a little bit unlucky, and then you see that reflected in your scores, and you're like, oh my God, my whole shit has gone backward. No, you're just experiencing some variance. I will say, though, that like there's an attention difference from day to day to day. And that's probably why my golf game, I mean, even in golf, there's variance that you just don't see. Like the days that all your 5-foot putts go in, you don't even realize, like, well, you left that 5 feet away. That wasn't a great chip. You could have missed that 5-footer, but you made the 5-footer. So you're like, oh, yeah, par. Great. I'm good. I'm good at golf. Yeah, except for other days, you're going to miss that 5-footer and you're going to make a bogey. And now you feel like you suck. You don't. You're the same golfer and you make about half of your 5-footers. Like it doesn't seem like you should miss that many 5-footers, but you do. Even pros miss 5 to 10 footers. And like some of them go in and you don't really notice like that. You're a little lucky to have made that putt.
Mm-hmm.
The days where you miss it, oh, I suck or I'm unlucky or whatever. Well, okay. You're just kind of okay. And that's where Teddy is right now, right? Like you've gotten a lot better. That's great. You're still not that good. And so you're going to have hits and misses and that's, I think, astute, Ben, to point out that on Teddy's good days, he's like, yeah, that's the real me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sure, it's part of you. But the bad days are also part of you. And I mean, what's the action that Teddy can take here?
Well, the real action is digging into the questions that Teddy gets wrong and
Right.
identifying exactly what he misread instead of
Right.
it's a super common. Teddy, you did ask at the beginning of your email, I skipped over, but you said, is this a normal occurrence? And that is, it's very common for people to generalize and try to see some big pattern where it's really just like, hey, what did I misread? What word did I misread? Why did I misread it? Let's dig in every time.
Yeah. You do the thing I started to say, and I got off on a different tangent. You're gonna have attention variance, right? There are days where you're reading better, Teddy, than other days.
Mm-hmm.
And there are days where you're going to try to go a little bit too fast and you're not really going to get it. You're going to misread stuff and that's going to cause you to stumble. There's going to be days where you're going to be distracted by passing thoughts about the weather or your dinner plans for that night or existential concerns about politics or your LSAT, your law school applications or whatever else. There's just going to be these intrusive thoughts. And some days those are going to interfere with your understanding of the words that are on the page. Other days you're going to have better focus and you're going to just understand the words on the page. The days where you're distracted, the days where you go too fast, the days where you misread, the test is going to seem really hard because it's hard if you don't focus on the words that are on the page. The days where you have better focus, it's going to seem easy because it is actually easy if you just understand what it says.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all you, Teddy. That's all just like you've got this bell curve of your attention from day to day and moment to moment. You've got a bell curve of right and wrong answers. You've got a bell curve of good and bad scores. And last thing I'll say is, fortunately, only the good ones really going to count. But you should thoroughly review your mistakes on good days and bad days.
Mm-hmm.
so that you can learn from the mistakes so that you can continue to develop your skills. Stop beating yourself up, Teddy. That last line is a little bit concerning. You know, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Teddy, you know you're not making 1 step forward and 2 steps back. On your worst days, maybe it feels that way, but you know you're getting better at the test, and you are getting better at the test. So maybe take a day off if you feel like that, but then get right back on the horse, slow down a little bit, read carefully enough that it seems easy. That's when you're going to get your best performances and your fastest improvement, because you're just letting the test be easy by understanding what's actually there.
Excellent. Email daily at
Thanks, Teddy.
lsatdemon.com if you'd like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.